the man who gave us the self-destruct button, a dark screen. Then, in a sudden burst, a mushroom cloud rises, blotting out the sun. Cities vanish in seconds, and silence falls, broken only by whispers. He built a weapon that could end civilization. This is J. Robert Oppenheimer, the physicist whose ideas and leadership changed the world forever. He never won a Nobel Prize, yet under his guidance, the most brilliant minds of the 20th century built a machine capable of total destruction. His life is a collision of genius, ambition, and moral complexity. The camera pans across faded photographs of Oppenheimer as a young man, then wartime headlines screaming destruction. We feel the weight of history in every frame. This story is not just about physics, about the human consequences of ideas, the fragility of civilization, and the moral dilemmas that come when brilliance meets power. From his early years as an eccentric prodigy to the desert of Los Alamos, Oppenheimer's story is a thriller played out in reality. The stakes could not have been higher. Every decision, every calculation, every human interaction had consequences that could ripple across the globe. By the end of this journey, we are forced to ask, can knowledge be wielded responsibly when the stakes are survival itself? Oppenheimer's brilliance was inseparable from his fragility. At Cambridge University, he despised tedious lab work and constantly failed to impress his mentors. In a shocking display of desperation and anguish, he attempted to poison his physics tutor. The act failed, but it revealed the intensity, volatility, and complexity of his mind. He described his dormitory as a miserable hole, rolling on the floor in emotional torment, groaning and wrestling with a sense of failure. While other students thrived in routine experiments, Oppenheimer sought abstract ideas, immersing himself in the emerging world of quantum mechanics. He spent days and nights reading journals and pondering concepts far beyond his peers. This inner struggle is the crucible that forged the man who would later command the Manhattan Project. It reveals that genius often comes with psychological costa, restless mind that can imagine the impossible but struggles with the ordinary. The seeds of leadership, obsession, and ethical reckoning were planted here long before he touched plutonium or uranium. These years are not just background. They provide a dramatic foundation, showing how emotional intensity, brilliance, and ambition intersect to create someone capable of reshaping the fate of nations. Cambridge may have failed Oppenheimer, but the University of Göttingen became his sanctuary. Under the mentorship of Max Born, Oppenheimer thrived in an environment devoted to theoretical physics, surrounded by luminaries such as Werner Heisenberg, Paul Dirac, and John von Neumann. It was here that Oppenheimer began to transform his raw talent into recognized genius. Letters to his brother reveal the excitement he felt. The work is hard, thank God, and almost pleasant. He published groundbreaking papers on quantum theory, interacted with peers who would become legends, and solidified his reputation as a rising star. Born described him as a man of great talent, conscious of his superiority, sometimes to his own detriment. This period was not only about science, it was about personal growth, rivalry, and mentorship. Oppenheimer learned how to navigate complex ideas, how to work alongside brilliant colleagues, and how to command respect through intellect rather than experience. The relationships and rivalries he forged would later shape the global race for nuclear power. In essence, Göttingen was the forge in which Oppenheimer's mind, character, and leadership were tempered. Here, he became more than a brilliant student. He became a figure whose decisions would carry consequences for the entire world. In 1938, the world was oblivious to the storm on the horizon. That year, German chemists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann split the uranium atom, a discovery that would ignite the nuclear age. At first, Oppenheimer dismissed it. Yet, when physicist Luis Alvarez repeated the experiment, reality struck. A chain reaction could release energy beyond imagination. Imagine the power of a single neutron hitting a uranium nucleus, splitting it, and sending off more neutrons, potentially triggering a cascading reaction of unimaginable force. The physics was elegant, terrifying, and revolutionary. Suddenly, what had been purely theoretical became a mechanism for destruction or energy. Oppenheimer recognized the possibilities immediately. He began to calculate the energy yield, understanding that even a tiny amount of uranium could release energy equivalent to thousands of tons of TNT. The stakes were no longer academic. The fate of nations was now intertwined with subatomic particles. This section highlights the suspense of discovery, the thrill of genius coupled with the moral and practical consequences. Viewers feel the tension of a world on the brink, as brilliant minds realize that knowledge itself can become a weapon capable of reshaping human history. World War II demanded action. The United States, fearing that Nazi Germany might develop nuclear weapons first, formed the Manhattan Project. General Leslie Groves needed a leader who could command the world's top scientists, solve impossible problems, and think beyond conventional military strategies. Enter Oppenheimer. He had no Nobel Prize, no administrative experience, and controversial political affiliations. Yet his intellect, charisma, and understanding of physics made him the perfect candidate. At Los Alamos, he would become the architect of humanity's deadliest weapon. Challenges were immense. Hundreds of scientists, engineers, and technicians had to work in secrecy, overcoming logistical nightmares and ethical dilemmas. Oppenheimer's leadership blended brilliance with psychological insight, inspiring a team capable of delivering the impossible. The desert of New Mexico became both a laboratory and a crucible, testing human endurance, ingenuity, and conscience. This section dramatizes leadership under extreme pressure, showing that the creation of the atomic bomb was as much a human and ethical challenge as it was a technical one. Every decision had consequences, making the stakes cosmic in scale and personal in intensity. Constructing the atomic bomb required solving a chain of unprecedented technical problems. Uranium-235 and plutonium-239 had to be purified and enriched. Complex mechanisms like the implosion device and the Urchin initiator had to function perfectly. Failure could mean catastrophe. Scientists worked around the clock, performing experiments that were both brilliant and terrifying, using new physics to manipulate the building blocks of matter itself. Chalkboards overflowed with equations. Laboratories glowed under the light of molten metals and uranium. Oppenheimer guided them with a mix of exacting intellect and human empathy. Every calculation carried weight. One misstep could destroy the lab or worse. Oppenheimer often recited passages from the Bhagavad Gita to steady himself, a reminder that science could never be divorced from morality. The project was not just engineering, it was a test of human judgment, courage, and resolve. Viewers feel the tension of discovery, the drama of high stakes, and the suspense of a world about to witness an event that would forever alter the human story. The culmination of years of work, fear, and brilliance arrived in the early hours of July 16, 1945, in the barren New Mexico desert. Scientists gathered near the test site, their faces a mixture of awe and terror. The gadget's a world's first plutonium bomb sat atop its tower. A delicate arrangement of explosives and fissile material ready to unleash energy never before seen. Oppenheimer.com, yet tense. Recited passages from the Bhagavad Gita to steady his mind. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. He understood the weight of what they were about to do. The night sky crackled with anticipation, and a storm delayed the detonation. At 5:29 a.m., the desert erupted in blinding light. The explosion illuminated the horizon brighter than the sun, a shockwave that shattered the stillness of the mountains. The heat melted desert sand into green glass, creating Trinity, a permanent testament to human ingenuity and destruction. Observers felt the ground tremble from over 100 kilometers away. For Oppenheimer and his team, the test was confirmation of success, but also a profound moral reckoning. The power they had unleashed was unimaginable, capable of reshaping geopolitics and human life forever. The Trinity Test was not just a technical achievement, it was the moment when the theoretical became terrifyingly real, a historic pivot point in human civilization. 3 weeks later, the atomic bomb was deployed over Hiroshima. The little boy bomb, a gun-type uranium device, exploded with the force of 15,000 tons of TNT. In an instant, tens of thousands of lives were erased, and a city was obliterated. Survivors endured unimaginable injuries, burns, and radiation sickness, the consequences echoing for generations. 3 days after, Nagasaki suffered a similar fate from the plutonium-based Fat Man, the same design tested at Trinity. Together, the bombings killed over 225,000 people, the majority civilians. The destruction was absolute, reshaping the moral landscape of warfare. For Oppenheimer, it was a moment of mixed triumph and horror. He knew the bomb had ended the war, but at an unimaginable human cost. He reflected again on the Bhagavad Gita, haunted by the reality that science could be a force for both progress and annihilation. This chapter highlights the duality of human achievement, genius enabling unprecedented technological power, yet leaving behind moral and ethical dilemmas. It asks viewers to consider the cost of scientific advancement when used as a weapon, creating a tension that resonates even decades later. After the war, Oppenheimer became a public hero, but fame brought scrutiny. He opposed the development of the hydrogen bomb, warning that an arms race could lead to global catastrophe. His principled stance angered political and military leaders, especially amid Cold War paranoia. In 1954, Oppenheimer's security clearance was suspended amid accusations of communist ties, espionage, and moral ambiguity. Wiretaps, surveillance, and hearings portrayed him as both brilliant and potentially dangerous. Oppenheimer faced questions about his past associations, personal relationships, and even thoughts on nuclear strategy. The hearings became a symbolic trial of conscience and intellect, exposing the tension between personal ethics, loyalty, and national security. Oppenheimer defended the Manhattan Project while questioning humanity's future. His nuanced reasoning clashed with political expediency, showing that scientific genius cannot be judged solely by achievement. It must also confront the consequences of power. This section emphasizes tension and character depth. Oppenheimer was not a one-dimensional hero or villain. He was a man wrestling with his choices in a world that could wield his creations for total destruction. The audience experiences the weight of responsibility borne by those who shape history. Oppenheimer died in 1967, but his legacy reverberates through time. He revolutionized physics, guided the Manhattan Project, and sparked a debate about the moral responsibilities of scientists that continues today. His life is a cautionary tale. Knowledge gives humans the power to create or destroy, and ethical reflection is essential in the face of unprecedented capability. The atomic bomb forever altered warfare, international politics, and ethical philosophy. Oppenheimer's warnings about the arms race were prophetic. Nuclear stockpiles and geopolitical tensions remain a critical challenge. His story also inspires questions about climate change, AI, and other technologies capable of reshaping life itself. What do we do with knowledge too powerful to ignore? Through interviews, letters, and reflections, we see a man torn between ambition and morality, brilliance and responsibility. He remains a symbol of the human struggle with power, ethics, and consequence, teaching us that genius is inseparable from the choices it demands. The screen fades to a mushroom cloud dissolving into stars, a visual metaphor for the fragility and wonder of human civilization. Oppenheimer's story is both a warning and an inspiration that the most profound discoveries come with responsibilities that echo across time, urging viewers to reflect on the consequences of the choices we make today. Robert Oppenheimer's story is not just about physics, bombs, or History It, is about the human condition itself. He was a man of extraordinary intellect, curiosity, and vision, yet also deeply conflicted about the consequences of his own creations. The atomic bomb changed the course of humanity forever, demonstrating both the heights of human achievement and the depths of our capacity for destruction. Oppenheimer once said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." But for him, the difficulty was existential. The power he helped unleash could end civilization in an instant. His life reminds us that knowledge alone is not enough. Brilliance without responsibility can shape the world in ways no one anticipates, for better or worse. The ethical questions he faced in the 1940s remain urgent today, whether in nuclear weapons, climate change, or emerging technologies like AI. As the mushroom clouds faded over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and as the desert sands of New Mexico became trinitite, the world witnessed the duality of human potential. We are capable of unimaginable creation and, equally unimaginable, destruction. Oppenheimer's legacy challenges us to think, reflect, and act wisely, reminding us that every discovery carries a choice: to build or to destroy, to protect or to harm. As we step into the future, let his story serve as a guide. Let us wield knowledge with care, courage, and conscience, understanding that the fate of generations may rest in our hands, because in the end, history does not forgive those who ignore the weight of their own genius.